J.D. Slajchert was quite a story in college, going from a bench warmer to a
J.D.
starter
Slajchert
at
lost
UCSB.
his friend Luc to
Now
sickle
the
cell disease.
2018
Now J.D. is using
graduate
his writing talent
writes
to honor Luc.
23-year-old J.D. Slajchert evacuated the home he shares with his mother.
We
were in a hotel room and I woke up to my mom.
This week, the MoonFlowers from
saying,
Malibu
hey, wake up, that's our house on the news burning
I
down.
couldn't believe it. Personal? And I'd worked so hard to get out of that dark place I was in when I lost Luc.
That question, man, it just made it all run through my head like a million miles an hour. Like every speech I've ever given, every place I've ever gone. It's crazy. My name is J.D. Slajchert. I'm an author, speaker, and philanthropist. So I've written a few books, and a big part of what I do is talking about those books in hopefully a positive way, but also trying to give back to some nonprofits as well and kind of donate my time in effective ways to hopefully inspire hope. So writing for me was something that completely came out of left field. I had no intention of ever writing anything. I wasn't the best student. I wasn't the best writer, obviously, but I sort of had a really inspirational story come into my life and a person that really sort of lit the fire creatively for me and pushed me to want to write. When after one of my high school basketball games, this girl whom I never previously met before came up to me and said that my little brother wants to meet you and play basketball with you. So I sort of looked at her and said, sure, you know, I'll get around to it when I can, I'm pretty busy. And that's when she said, no, it has to happen next week. And so I said, you know, why is that? And she said, because my little brother is 6 years old, he has sickle cell disease, and the last thing that he wants to do before he goes into a full year of isolation for a bone marrow transplant is meet you and play basketball with you. That little boy and I became best friends.
So thankfully, Luc made it out of the hospital. His bone marrow transplant was successful, and I gave him a UCSB hat that day, and he ended up never taking it off, and he stayed pretty true to that.
Wow.
Yeah, and he made it to the next 3 years.
I think losing Luc and going through that relationship, and you know, he was just so young, like he was 10 years old. That's the part that I think I still struggle with even to this day, to be honest. How could you not? You know, speaking at his funeral, going through the loss of that is something that I think I still think about and try to also, though, let it push me, motivate me, inspire me to live out all the dreams him and I talked about that I wanted, that he wanted, and yeah, it truly changed my life. Yeah, my first book is called MoonFlower. It was published on the 2-year anniversary of Luc's passing, so September 14th, 2018. And it's a fictional novel I wrote about my relationship with Luc, but also just about my own story. I sort of took a lot of the things that Luc and I went through in our friendship and sort of fictionalized them and put them in kind of a young adult novel. And what I didn't really realize is that it would give birth and sort of lend itself to this whole opportunity of speaking events and talking about Luc. And you know, originally just as a writer, I felt like that was going to be my sole lane. But once the book came out and I saw the response from people wanting to hear more, wanting to know the real story too, that was when I realized, wow, there really is a big group of people that want to know more about this. Adversity is a friend to everyone. It is something that we all go through, no matter who you are, no matter where you come from, what background you come from, wherever you live, and I'm no different. I felt like, you know, I was on this incredible high of releasing my first novel and going around talking about it like crazy and drinking lots of coffee and traveling all over the place when the Woolsey fire began in my hometown of Malibu.
This is Eyewitness News with live breaking news.
Again, with two major fires raging right now.
Shells such an ominous scene. This is the corner of Monteleone Avenue and Churchwood Drive, where houses are now going
That's
up.
21 miles of scenic beauty. That's a lot of it is burning at least. Take a look at this scene here. This is almost a
happened so fast. We thought we were fine, and then just bam.
Adversity is a part of each of our lives. We've all gone through struggles and things that, you know, were unfortunate, and failures that maybe we can control or we couldn't control. But I just think that it's all about trying to help people rethink what it is that they've gone through in a way that they can say, hey, you know what? I've gone through this situation and I've come out even stronger because of my family, because of my friends, or it's given me an opportunity to see life through a new lens. And I think that that really is an idea worth spreading, worth sharing.
A book that he wrote after losing his home in the Woolsey fire, and he's helped turn all of this into really a message of hope for others. And you're doing work with the American Red Cross now. Good morning. Thanks for coming in.
Well, Joe, thank you for having me. I mean, a pleasure to be back a year later.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm happy to be here and promote this story, but also talk about some pretty important stuff with the Red Cross. And it was after I donated the proceeds from my debut novel, MoonFlower, to the Red Cross and the Woolsey Fire Relief. And since then, I've gotten the chance to travel all over California to all the different branches of the Red Cross and speak and really tell my story.
And I know this is maybe a bit cliche, but it's cliche because it's true, and that's something that any age group can be reminded of and be talked to and spoken to about and can all benefit from. I think we all can do a better job of being more grateful for the things that we have and the adversities we get to have, the luxury we get to have those things. I believe in the power in this because one small interaction I had when I was 17 years old changed my whole life. I never thought this is the career path I would be on or what I'd be doing every day, but I've never been more fulfilled, more full of life, more hopeful for the future than I am today. And that is because of all the other people I've met and all the other stories I've heard and shared with, and seeing the impact of these things. Seeing other people that are benefiting from this story, hearing about how they're applying it to their everyday lives, and just being more grateful, waking up and smiling more and having more of a positive outlook on life.